Be up, guys. Once again for my second stream of the day. But by the way, there will not be a third now. There was supposed to be another one, the buzz later, but that will be a different day now. I'm afraid. Probably, I think it may be next week now. Probably next Monday or Tuesday, something like that. I'll be doing the buzz, guys. Then, so unfortunately, I think not having the guests that I wanted to have on and not quite as much interest at the moment. So I've decided to schedule it up for another day. Obviously delay it now till obviously next week. When hopefully we can have more of a debate on the subject. So but I thought I'm obviously going to do this review preview for the Bees and the Forest for Sunday, of course. I think we may have got Forest maybe at the right time here. I thought this could be a tough one with Dyche as manager. It still probably is, but then again, they're not getting loads of goals at the moment. They're no longer the team we played in that first game, of the season. Lost 3-1. At Forest, of course, the City ground, we lost there. And to be honest, we didn't turn up for that match either. We were poor in that first game. Obviously, the only thing that was positive, Thiago got his first goal of the season with a penalty. That was the major positives there. I suppose we didn't get totally annihilated as well. Didn't lose like 5-6-1 or something, 7, whatever. So, again, we didn't get walloped. So, yeah, but it weren't great. It was terrible. A bad performance, 3-1. We lost 3-1. So, don't really want to remember it anymore. We got to come back here and win at home. Anyway, I'm going to get straight into this, guys, the article here, and bring this up to match preview one. So here we go. Match preview, Bees versus Nottingham Forest. Analysis, team news, match officials and more. Here's everything you need to know ahead of Brentford's Premier League game against Nottingham Forest at Gtech Community Stadium on Sunday, 25th of January, 2026, 2 p.m. kickoff. So not long to wait, of course. A couple of days. Brentford face Nottingham Forest at Gtech Community Stadium in the Premier League on Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff. The Bees return to the Gtech, having lost just one game in TW8 this term. Forest will visit West London after a trip to face Portuguese side Braga in the Europa League on Thursday night, which they lost, of course, and didn't play well. And, to a team that really only had, I don't think had any shots on target, and it was an own goal they scored with they got the goal. So, not exactly looking too good for them. So, that might be good for us. That might help us. The fact that they are struggling a little bit now, that might be better for us. The pre-match analysis with Stephen Gile. Playmaker stats, the numbers point to dramatic finish on Sunday. Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest are on the hunt for an attacking X factor ahead of Sunday's Premier League meeting with Brentford at Gtech Community Stadium. Forest's hectic fixture list is a consequence of their superb 24-25 campaign, which saw them flirt with the Champions League places before they eventually finished 7th in the top flight. Last term under Nuno Espirito Santo, Forest combined defensive steel with pacey counter-attacking football, which brought 7 goals on the break. They were also formidable from set pieces, scoring more Premier League goals, 17, from dead ball situations than any other team. Spearheading Forest's attack was New Zealand international Chris Wood, who of course is not available at the moment, so that's another good thing for us. We don't have to worry about him. Who finished behind only Mohamed Salah, 29, Alexander Isak, 23, and Erling Haaland, 22 in the Premier League goal charts. The striker hit 20 of Forest's 58 goals in total, 34%. No player in the division scored a higher share of their team's goals. Success brings a different set of challenges, however, and two managerial changes coupled with Wood picking up a serious knee injury have defined a more turbulent 25-26 campaign. Now, under head coach Dyche, Forest struggles to find the net persists. Only Wolves 15 have scored fewer Premier League goals this term than Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White, 5 is their top scorer, while Callum Hudson-Odoi, 3, is the only other player to outscore Wood, 2, despite the Kiwis' extended absence. They're also one of only 2 teams, Manchester United the other, yet to score a top-flight goal via a substitute. Forest's low attacking output isn't down to a lack of volume. They rank inside the top 10 for shots taken, 266, although a third of those, 98, have come from outside the box. Quality chance creation has proved elusive, and the Reds' crossing numbers tell a story. According to Opta, Forest have swung in 415 crosses this season, the most in the Premier League, but have the third lowest cross success rate in the division, 18.3%, 76 accurate. Brentford, by comparison, have attempted far fewer crosses, 256. They have a higher completion rate, 23.4%, 60 accurate. The last 15 minutes on Sunday could be pivotal, with Brentford hoping to maintain a knack of stinging opponents late in games. This season, Keith Andrews' side have scored 13 goals after the 75th minute, 6 of them in added time. Forest, meanwhile, head to West London, having conceded a league-high 12 Premier League goals in the same period. Andrews, however, will know his Brentford side can ill afford to start in the manner they did in their 3-1 defeat to Forest on the opening day of the season. Exactly. 3 goals down at half-time that day. It was terrible. The Irishman will be determined to show what he and his side are capable of after that game in August. Scout report Dan Long, Sky Sports, Forest face defining run of fixtures. In hindsight, it was a sensible move from bookmakers to offer similar prices for Nottingham Forest to finish in the top 6 or to get relegated back to the Championship before the season started. Initially, the former looked more feasible. They were only 1 point away from completing that in 24-25. In reality, right now, Forest are flirting with the possibility of the latter, with just a 5-point cushion between themselves and West Ham in 18. But that tells you little, especially when you consider that Chris Wood, scorer of 20 Premier League goals in 24-25, has been absent since October due to a knee injury. It is the managerial situation that has often been headline news, though. Yeah, managerial situation has often been headline news. Nuno Espirito Santo was given a new 3-year contract in June for his role in a quite incredible season for Forest. Yet only 3 games into the new Premier League season, he was sacked. In the weeks leading up to the decision, he said his relationship with co-owner Evangelos Marinakis was not the same and not so good as it was. The next day, 9th of September, Ange Postecoglou was appointed as his replacement. The Australian stock was reasonably high after he guided Tottenham to Europa League glory, and he was handed a 2-year contract for a swift return to management. We now must take the right steps to compete with the very best and challenge for trophies. Ange has the credentials and the track record to do this, said Marinakis in the statement posted on the club's official website. Within 6 weeks, 39 days to be exact, he too was gone. Postecoglou took charge of 8 games, of which Forest drew 2 and lost 6. His ill-fated spell at the City Ground represents the second shortest Premier League reign in history and the shortest reign in Forest's history. Then came former Forest youth player Sean Dyche, who has been in charge for just over 3 months now. 5 of Forest's 6 league wins have come under him, as well as all their victories in the Europa League. That competition is where they have been able to forget their troubles at home. They are even priced at 9-1 to bring home the trophy. But as Sarah Clapson says in Hot Off the Press, surviving in the Premier League has to be the priority. And right now they are among the favourites to be relegated, taking 4 points from the last 2 against West Ham and Arsenal should provide some inspiration and belief that they are capable of more than their league position suggests. With that in mind, the upcoming run of games against Brentford, Crystal Palace, Leeds and Wolves will likely be key to how their season ultimately concludes and whether they will secure a 5th straight Premier League season. In the dugout, Sean Dyche. Well, we know all about him. So what he's done, keeping many teams up, usually keeps them up. Many always survive under him for these teams, wherever he's managed. But yeah, well, maybe not this time. Who knows? The game plan with Sarah Clapson, Nottingham Post. Sarah Clapson, Nottingham Forest correspondent for Nottingham Post, has explained how Forest are likely to set up for Sunday's Premier League clash at Gtech Community Stadium. Sean Dyche has stuck with a similar formation for much of his tenure so far. He has gone with a 4-2-3-1, Sarah told BrentfordFC.com earlier this week. It is very much a Sean Dyche style of football, generally, as you got used to seeing at his previous clubs. Forest have played some good football under him in spells. The Liverpool game against Porto and against Spurs. But he has very much tried to focus on keeping them tight at the back, making sure they are solid and getting back to what they were good at last season, in not conceding many goals and being a really tight defensive unit. There's still a bit of work to do on that though. Last Premier League starting 11 versus Arsenal, 4-2-3-1, Sales in goal, Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo, Williams, Sangare, Anderson, Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs-White, Dominguez and Jesus. So team news, we'll get on to that. Andrews hopeful on Henderson involvement. Keith Andrews provided an update on Jordan Henderson ahead of Sunday's Premier League game against Nottingham Forest. The midfielder missed the Chelsea game last Saturday, having picked up an ankle injury in the 2-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup earlier this month. Everyone has come through the Chelsea game pretty well, revealed Andrews. It's been a few days since then. We trained well and we're pretty good on that front. Jordan Henderson has been back on the grass and hopefully he'll be involved. Josh De Silva, usual this is, knee ligament, remains sidelined as usual, while Fabio Carvalho and Anthony Malambo will both miss the rest of the campaign due to ACL injuries. I should put that on repeat, shouldn't I, really? Because that's what it is. We all know they can't play ACL, so they're out the rest of the season. And Josh De Silva, he's always injured. So it looks like Jordan Henderson may be back anyway. Match officials, Barrett back at Brentford. Referee Sam Barrett, assistants Adam Nunn and Wade Smith. Fourth official Dean Whitestone. VAR Chris Kavanagh. Not great, are they? Let's be honest. Is there a decent ref anywhere, or anyone that can do VAR or fourth, well, whatever, any sort of official really that's any good? Sam Barrett made his Premier League referee debut during the 23-24 season in Fulham's 3-1 victory over Sheffield United, having previously worked in the EPL and National League. The West Riding based official has taken charge of 17 games across all competitions this campaign, showing 67 yellow cards and 1 red. Barrett was the man in the middle for Brentford's 2-0 Carabao Cup defeat against Man City at Etihad Stadium in December. So, well, that was more to do with us, not him, why we lost. We weren't good, let's be honest. We weren't great at all. And deserved to lose that one, really, unfortunately. But anyway, dumped out the Carabao Cup yet again. But it was Man City, so to be expected, I guess. Nottingham Forest 0 Brentford 2 last memorable meeting, which was Premier League 1st of May 2025. Oh, look, it's that bloke. Anyone remember him? I kind of do. I wish I don't. But Johan Visser, yeah, was playing then. Oh, what happened to that cunt? Apologies for the swearing, guys. Sorry. Apologies for that, but it's true. Pardon me, sorry, guys. A goal in each half secured Brentford an impressive 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. The first came courtesy of Kevin Sharder. A wonderful pass over the top from Nathan Collins was picked up by the chasing forward inside the area, who beat Ola Reina to the ball and poked past Matt Sells to put the visitors ahead. Brentford doubled their lead with 20 minutes to go. In a similar vein to the first goal, Mark Flecken. Yes, he was there as well. What a player. What a goalie, eh? Mark Flecken, amazing goalkeeper. Yeah, right. Yeah, Mark Flecken launched the ball over the top for Johan Visser, who controlled and superbly chipped over the goalkeeper before wheeling away to celebrate with the travelling fans. That win secured all 3 points for the Bees. Something like that would be good again, but at home, obviously. We'd like to get 2 or 3 goals, if that, and maybe not concede. So I think at the moment we have got them at the right time, possibly, Forest. That's what I'm thinking. But then again, it just can't sort of, kind of think these are easy to beat. I kept saying that about, I think teams were there for the taking, the likes of Spurs and so forth. Yet we still didn't beat them. We lost 2-0 at their ground and drew 0-0 at home. So we didn't beat Spurs. So you can't underestimate these teams, even though we think they're not doing great. as Forest aren't. They're not doing that great. They're not scoring goals. Who could get their goals? I don't know. There's no Chris Wood. You know, who is getting their goals at the moment? But I'd like to think we should win this one. You would think that on current form and the way Forest are going, surely we should. But we are talking about Brentford here. We don't always do things the right way or the easy way or whatever. And then we end up losing to teams we shouldn't be losing to. So, I don't know what to say. I'd like to say we can win this, guys. I really can. I'm really hoping we can. And I think we're in a better state than we were when we played them in that first game. I mean, we just didn't turn up. We froze in that first half. You know, I don't know what happened. 3-0 down at half time. I can't see that happening this time, though. I really can't. I mean, we're at home for a start, but although that doesn't always matter, we did lose to Man City here, but that was only 1-0. That was the only game we lost. But that's the thing, though, isn't it? You know, we shouldn't lose this, but they're struggling to get goals. And generally, we can get them, although we didn't against Chelsea. We drew a blank there. We had enough chances to score, but we didn't. So that I'm just trying not to go too far ahead of myself here and just say, oh, look, we're definitely going to win, because I've done all this before and, you know, look what's happened. It's blew up in my face. So, but I still get that feeling we should win this one comfortably. I mean, okay, I don't think it's going to be easy getting through them. You know, no Sean Dyche team is generally that easy to get through. But, you know, look, no doubt we should win this. We should. You know, if anyone's at their best, that you know, Thiago comes back to playing like he can play, Chada, Damsgaard, yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the team. Who's going to be what's going to be our team? I mean, you would think it'd be the usual. I know Henderson may be back, so who knows really? I mean, let's try and see. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to go to that in a minute. Just looking at something else here, and then I'll get to that. Try and pick our team. Who's going to play? I'll get to that very soon. Just seeing if there was anything else, any other sort of transfer. No, it looks like no, there's nothing else regarding transfers. Nothing more. Right. Let's go to this one that's obviously it's doing a predicted lineup. Obviously, Sports Mole. I'm going to go to those. They're doing sort of a predicted lineup for the game. So let's see, guys. Predicted lineup. So here we go. Versus Nottingham Forest. Predicted 11 for Premier League clashes. Igor Thiago chases Man City legend. Brentford hotshot Igor Thiago will have a Manchester City legend in his sights when the Bees host Nottingham Forest in Sunday's Premier League clash at the Gtech Community Stadium. The 24-year-old drew a blank in last weekend's 2-0 loss to Chelsea, but he has already scored more goals in one Premier League season than any other Brazilian player, with 16 in 25-26. However, Thiago is still chasing the continental best as this last South American to score more in a single Premier League campaign was Sergio Aguero, who struck 21 times for Man City in 2018-19. The 2001-born striker will no doubt lead the line in Keith Andrews' 4-2-3-1 setup, although there could be one alteration to his supporting cast, as Dango Ouattara may return to the first 11 following the Africa Cup of Nations. The ex-Bournemouth winger was only a second-half substitute against Chelsea, and Matthias Jensen may now make way as Ouattara line links up with Mikael Damsgaard and Kevin Schade in the final third. Andrews could also receive a double midfield boost for Sunday, as Frank Onyeka is another AFCON returnee, and Jordan Henderson has a strong chance of returning from an ankle injury. But Vitaly Yanout and Yehor Yarmiliuk should be retained. Fresh from signing a new contract until 2030, Christopher Ayer could also hold his place over Sepp Vandenberg in an unchanged backline. Yeah, so Brentford possible starting lineup: Kelleher, Coyote, Collins, Ayer, Henry, Yanout, Yarmiliuk, Ouattara, Damsgaard, Schade, and Thiago. Yeah, possibly. I think that could be what it will be. I don't see why not. I think that's more likely that, stick with that, with what he's got. I don't mean they've been I mean, they were poor against Chelsea at the back. I thought we were poor. I made 2 bad mistakes to let them score. So that's got to be ironed out. We are at home now. Let's be honest, we are at home for this. Let's hope we don't do that in front of our own crowd at home. Any more defensive mistakes, we can't do that. If we want to win a game, no chance. I think Ouattara could well be back. It's going to add a lot more up front for us, a lot more threat to their defence. He's quick, direct, and we got some obviously passing ability there with Yanout, especially Damsgaard, of course, quality, some sort of playmaking there. So I think we're going to have more sort of going towards their defence this time. Ouattara definitely, Damsgaard, Schade, Thiago. There's more now, I think, of a threat there with those. I just feel we should have more against Forest this time than we did last time, and obviously lost. So we lost that last one at their ground, the first game of the season. So I think now we should beat them. We should. And I know I hate to say this, I'm going to be positive and say we're going to. I've done all this before. I keep doing this, and we end up losing. But surely we can't this time. Not this time. You know, we have only lost one at home. We have only lost one at home. You know what? I'm going to go for a 3-0. I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know. I just think we should get clean sheet. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to do reverse their score instead. I've decided they beat us 3-1 at Forest. I'm going 3-1 Bees at the Gtech. So we're going to win 3-1. I'm going to be there, guys, by the way. So I'm not going to, probably won't do a vlog, unfortunately, but I will be there to watch the game. So yeah, I'll definitely be there. So hopefully we'll win it. While I'm there, I want to be there and actually see a game we're going to win. We're actually winning the game, and we should. I think we have got Forest at the right time. Surely you would say they cannot score a goal. You know, they lost in the Europa League. You know, struggling a bit in the Premier. I mean, wouldn't it be just the way if Nuno saves West Ham and gets above them and knocks them down? The former manager, wouldn't that be just the way, you know? Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going 3-1 the Bees, 3-1. We surely should have enough this time. And can't do the repeat of that first game. No way. Follow me on the Insta, Mr. B for Life 182, and subscribe to Mr. B Highland Football Chat. Please smash those likes and keep subbing, guys. If you're new, guys, many thanks. Come on, keep doing this. Come on, keep subbing, smashing those likes. You know, get that up to 250. The subs. I mean, my views have been pretty good. I mean, on one of my other transfer streams, it's gone to 310. 310 views. So, you know, that's doing really well, those transfer streams. Well, that one certainly is. 310 views. It's really going up. So, yeah, please keep it going, guys. That's great. Showing your love and support. And as I say, there won't be a Buzz one today now. That Buzz stream is not happening. Apologies to everyone that wanted to see it, but it won't be today now. It's going to be sometime next week, probably earlier next week at some stage, Monday, Tuesday, one of those days. But it will happen, obviously. And also got reaction to this game, which will be on the Monday, I would think. Definitely be on the Monday. There won't be any over the weekend, guys. Nothing over the weekend. So, anyway, thanks to everyone that's been watching live on playback. Obviously, I had nobody in the live chat, which is a bit of a shock, surprise, but I know I did sort of delay it a bit again. I think I've done it for 5:25 when it was supposed to be 5 o'clock. So I sort of had delayed it a bit more, I'm afraid. But yeah, I really do apologise for that, guys. But anyway, it's been great. As I said, be reaction next Monday. And then the Buzz, of course. It may even be on the same day. I may do 2 on that day, on the Monday. Reaction for this and the Buzz. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Anyway, I'm going to bounce. And as I say, thanks to everyone that's been watching live on playback. And until the next one, all enjoy your weekend of sport and whatever else you're going to do, guys. Have a great one. And I will see you sometime early next week on my next stream. Cheers, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye.